There's a big difference between the command line and the run line, and you should be familiar with this difference for real life as well as for the test. Now in this section we're going to focus mostly on management commands from the command line, but we're going to get to it through a run line. So we're going to point out a few things about the run line as we go along. So to get to the run line in this case, I'm going to press the Windows key on my keyboard. If you don't have a Windows key on your keyboard, then simply click on Start to get into the Start menu. And then we could click on Run with the mouse, or we could just type an R on the keyboard. And this takes us into a run line. Now from a run line we can actually run programs. If we know what the executable of the program is, we could run a program from the run line. So for example, if I wanted to run a calculator, I could type in calc.exe and then press enter, and that brings up a calculator. There are many different programs that we can run through a run line. One of the programs that we can run through a run line is the command prompt. In other words, we can get to the command line through the run line. So again, I'm going to click on the Windows key and then press an R on the keyboard, and this time I'm going to type CMD and then press enter. That takes us into a command line. Now from the command line there are many different tools that we can use. One tool that we can use is we can take a look at what is inside of the folder that we are looking at when we get to the command line. In this case, it's the Documents and Settings folder for Bill Ferguson. If I type dir, then that tells me what's inside my Documents and Settings folder. So for example, inside my Documents and Settings folder I've got Desktop, I've got Favorites, I've got My Documents, and this is true for any folder that we're working with. We'll talk about files and folders a little bit later on in this section, but if we need to do any troubleshooting, it's good to be able to know how to get in the back door and take a look inside these directories to see if the file that we need actually exists. We can also quickly determine what version of operating system we're on by typing VER at the run line and pressing enter. As you can see, I'm running Microsoft Windows XP version 5.1. We can also determine our memory, what kind of memory the system has and what kind of memory it's using by typing MEM at the command line. When we type MEM at the command line, the system then takes a look at all of the conventional memory, the available memory, and then the extended memory that's in a system. So this can be good for troubleshooting as well. So it's important to know these command line tools, both for real life as well as for the test. And there are many different command line tools that can be used for management. These are the main ones that I would know for the test. But I would suggest that you spend a little bit of time on the command line just to see what it offers. There won't be a tremendous number of questions on the test in regards to the command line, but on the new test objectives it is mentioned. So I would know the difference between the command line and the run line, and then what some of the things that you can do from the command line are. Plus it's a good tool to know just to be able to troubleshoot.